Just checking the mics. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
All right, welcome in upstairs as we get set to go here between Benet Red Wings and the Prospective Warriors. Bob Bilsway is with me. I'm Matt Rodewald. Glad you're with us here as we are opening night of playoff football. You love the feeling of playoff football, especially that first night.
Well, you sure do. And the weather out here is perfect for football, too. It's been warm, obviously, the whole month, right? And then it's getting a little chillier. This is the perfect weather to run around and play football.
Deep to kick for Benet. They will kick off after Perspectives won the toss. They will take the ball. This will be Michael Conway, the 5'8" sophomore that will do the honors. The first playoff game for Benet in 5 years.
I like doing these Benet games. We're up here in the press box. It's, even if it is inclement weather, we've got, covered and everything. But we're also by the speaker from the PA system, and boy, is it loud. Now it's just finally went up.
There are three things that people need to know about. Nobody cares about our golf game. Nobody cares about our fantasy football team and our arrangements for the broadcast. Nobody knows that. Nobody cares, right? I'm kidding. All right, kickoff you saw there. Good field position for Perspectives. They will start on offense. Their leader for the quarterback, of course, we'll see a lot of Christopher Smith, number 6 for Perspectives. And Benet in the black home uniforms. Last week they were in the reds. Red with white pants. Perspectives on the road whites. The hint of burgundy on those pants. And as we've seen a lot with CPS teams coming out to the suburbs or going outside of the city of Chicago, they've got to have a fast start if they want a chance to stay in this game.
Well, I also think they learn as they go. They're not used to playing teams of this caliber necessarily, right? So they come out here, and all of a sudden, you don't want to get smoked in the first quarter. And then as they go, they learn what the other teams do, and they can kind of catch up as the game goes by.
DeJuan Bell to the near side is their star receiver, the senior, 5'9". And they go the draw right away to the outside. A good start, a pickup there for Justin Harris. The senior, 5'10", 230. He's a load to take down. If he can get to the outside, he's going to be tough for that second level.
And that is a great start. You're on first down. You get 7 yards, so then you get second and short. And if you don't get it, you get third and short. You also got the opportunity for play-action pass. So you're on the very first play of the game. It's a good start, and that's what they want.
Benet defense is opportunistic at best. We talked about, of course, as we talked with Jack Clevenger before the game, but there's also plenty of other defensive stars to keep an eye on. Declan Walsh, one of the guys up front there, who'll be trying to get in the backfield and get some sacks as well. Bring up a 2nd down and 3. They're at the 40-yard line. Perspectives going left to right. Draw again. This is Smith. Up the middle. Check that. That's DeJuan Bell, senior, with the carry. So they're going to try and get him the ball in different ways, the playmaker he is.
Well, they have to feel very good about it. 2 plays, a first down, that's the way to go. When you were talking about the Benet defense, Rogowski comes to mind last week. He's the running back. And how often do you announce the running back coming up there, getting handed off the ball when he's got 2 interceptions?
So fresh set of downs, already a good start for Perspectives, getting a first down. I mean, you really do have to go to the basics of, we just got to get a first down. Let's start little by little as they go with a one-back set. It's a double wing, though. They give it again. You see, they've kept it on the ground to start, and Benet gets some push for the first time.
Well, and that's what Benet wants to do. Obviously, they have to stop one of those running plays, so now it's 2nd and long. And so if you can take the running game out of it, now you're going to force Perspectives to throw. And then, well, anything can happen there. So not the start they wanted on the second first down of the game.
Joe Rohde in on the stop, a host of tacklers. Also Quinn Devine in on the play as well. All right, so this brings up a 2nd and long. Down and distance key for Perspectives and the Warriors. First time they'll throw out to the right. Pass caught by McQuell Harris, and he gets a good chunk of yards. If there's anything that Perspectives has, it's speed. If they can get to the outside and get the edges, be successful tonight.
Well, here they got to like that game, too. It was 2nd and long. Now they've turned it into 3rd and short. And again, under play action pass, they're in a good spot. And both of these 2 times they've had the down markers.
2-down territory here.
That would be that would be my thought, which then also says you probably it on the ground both times, and you get a shorter run the second time.
It is 3rd down and 3. They're at the Benet 44-yard line. Let's see how they approach this here. See that wing set back to the left. They'll throw this time. Illegal formation penalty coming. He gets rid of the ball out of the pocket, and that's going to be an intentional grounding penalty. There was nobody in the area, and a big hit as Christopher Smith, the senior, is slow to get up, and that is a bad sign to off for the Warriors.
Yeah, he's not just slow to get up, he's not getting up. And, of course, I liked your comment, illegal formation. I was thinking that was an illegal pass out of bounds, just the way he threw it. Never mind that the flag actually came out on it. Not great, though. He just got tackled right on the ribs. The defender landed right square on top of him, and hopefully he gets up.
So 2 penalties. They'll did not catch whether they declined the, I would assume you decline the illegal formation one because it's a loss of down. At this point, we were talking about the fact that maybe you go for it on 4th down if you keep it manageable, but a penalty changes that. They're going to move this back, and it will be a 4th down, and Napier is almost 4th and 20. So you would imagine Perspectives will punt. As you see Christopher Smith actually sitting up now, he's going to have a series to at least catch his breath. That was the first real contact he took, and it was a tough hit. As
well, and he got
defense.
Yeah, well, that he was in the throwing motion as he was throwing that illegal pass out of bounds. He just exposed his rib. And 4th and 20, like you said, they're going to have to punt this. It's too bad. They were 3 yards away from a first down. A couple of running plays later, they could have had another first down, but now the game went the wrong direction. They're punting, and Bennett's going to have the ball. Maybe not quite at midfield, but with good field position.
After all that, like a net pickup of 2 yards on that whole drive, and they ran about 6 or 7 plays there.
But you still have to be optimistic if you are that they were able to on virtually every play until that last one riddled with penalties.
As he stands back 34, between the 4 and 33-yard line. Full protection now for Perspectives. Snap gets away, punt gets away. It's a wobbler. It's going to bounce at the 45. That's a good Perspectives bounce. Going to go right at the 30-yard line, and that's where Bennett's going to start their first offensive possession. Ryan Kubacki, and the senior quarterback, 5'8", is going to come out and direct the Bennett offense.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him run a lot more. He didn't really run very well last week, and I think he's going to look to redeem himself on some of these plays. He was not as big a part of the offense as I think he's normally used to being, but that was a very fortunate bounce on that punt. But Bennett wisely let it go. You don't want to pick it up like you're a shortstop because if you fumble, it could go the other way.
The winner of this one will get the winner of Rochelle and Marmion. They just started in Rochelle, and the Hubs went down and scored in their opening possession. First play, deep pass down the left side, going for Doyle, and it's knocked away. Good positioning there for Jarrell Brenston.
You almost feel like it was knocked away, but it should have been intercepted. It looked like to me it was right in his breadbasket.
Yep. A little bit underthrown.
A lot of it,
wind tonight. Much appreciated compared to the last 2 or 3 days we've had around here in northern Illinois.
The flag on the north end is absolutely not moving.
Still is a baby at 3 o'clock in the morning. They go again, 2nd and 10, and stumble a little bit. That's Rogowski. Martin Rogowski, you've seen him a couple times. What makes him so good?
Yeah, what makes him so good is he's so versatile. Go inside, go outside. He gets a lot of opportunities. Of course, he's a special player, also plays defense. I kind of liken him to Deion Sanders. Now, that's obviously a major comparison, but he's a shutdown corner on the one side.
It also shows you and I our age. Just there's a lot of people in the building that have never seen him play.
Although they know he coaches out in Colorado.
He coaches now, right? Yeah. Exactly. And so Kubacki waiting for the signal. This is empty set. 3 receivers near side. Signal to the top. He looks back left. He's got a man. That's Doyle. A catch and a first down. You know, if you're going to start chipping away, those 10-yard out routes are going to do it.
Well, in Benet, in the past, they seem to do run up the middle somewhere. You keep the defense honest. And then they show the next pass. Usually 2nd and 5 is what they end up with after that next pass.
So move
So those 5-yard chunks is what they like to get.
Yep, move the chains there after pick up about 12. They got it at the 41-yard line now. Doyle in motion. They swing it out to him. Doyle's going to be met immediately and dropped. Good positioning and a good read there. That was Sean Jones, the senior, making sure that he was not going to get anywhere, and a loss of good 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the wide receiver screens on any team, but what happens earlier in the game, it gives an opportunity for the quarterback kind of to warm up his arm and the receivers to catch the first pass. And, sometimes missed tackle, it can go for a long way. But it is second and long as a result.
Sometimes you want to read what the defense is going to do if you go side to side. Left setback. They give it this time. Rogowski, and he breaks the tackle, gets to the outside a little bit. Out to the 41-yard line. He picks up the loss, essentially, but this is going to set up a 3rd down and 9.
The other play that Benet, I like, what they like to do is, let the defense rush and then run a screen pass, but over the middle. Here, I think you're going to see the wide side to the right, so it'll be a roll to the right and pass that way, hopefully with the receiver on the move to gain yards after the catch.
They go 3 receivers at the top. That's Doyle in the slot. John Erickson also out there, the sophomore. The throw and the catch right at midfield, right at the first down marker. Luca Diamete. Diamete, really nice stop route. Found the sticks, got the first down.
So years ago, I used to play this great game called QB1 where you predict what the play is going to be, and I guess I got that wrong. It was a pass short left, not a pass short right. Played that too?
You go wide side. Yeah, exactly. I did. Not that much, but enough to know how it works. Put it that way. Kids that don't know the video game gloriousness that we all had. Back to throw deep. He's got Doyle and a catch inside the red zone, and Doyle has Benet in business.
Somebody's going to say that was a great back shoulder catch. I'm going to say that was underthrown, and Doyle saw it first. What a great reception, though. There again, though, the underthrowing, it gets a little bit concerning. I think if you're watching this as a team who's going to play next week against Benet, you're like, make sure you're looking back at the quarterback. You can pick those off.
Kubecki sets it up, 1st and 10 at the 14. He will give this time. Rogowski up the gut to the goal line. Touchdown, Benet. Martin Rogowski, 14-yard score. And Benet draws first blood.
Up the middle, almost not touched, and that's the Rogowski I think I at least expected to see in this game, and it happened already, in the first half of the first quarter.
Started to get going once they got that down. Conway out for the extra point. This is a 5'8" sophomore. Things go well, he'll get plenty of reps tonight. A little bit of a high snap. The kick is up, and it is good.
And I think that was a lot of foreshadowing right there, that he's going to get a lot of action. I think you're saying it's going to be a lot of action on extra points, not field goals.
If the last plays are any indicators, and you never know, but as a good start for Benet. What did you like about what they did on that drive?
Exactly. I like the way that they mixed it up. It was a pass, then a run, then a run, then a pass. They were gaining yardage every time, and they were large chunks, like the 12 and out and the 14 yards on the running play. So absolutely, I liked what they did, the ball around, keeping Perspectives off balance. Now, at the same time, I like what Perspectives' offense as well. They were getting first down, 2nd and short, and 3rd and short, and really the only reason that stalled was because of that, I'll say, the 2 penalties on the illegal formation and the illegal pass out.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, Perspectives, they were moving the ball. 3rd and 3, they had an intentional grounding. And their quarterback, Christopher Smith, took a big hit, so it'll be very curious to see if he, as he was helped off. It took a while for him to get up.
This time on my squib, it was just about 20 yards downfield in the air, kind of controlling. Don't want to do it apparently is kick it deep to the end line against, but they do this.
Conway line right half, and he sends it away. This one's going to land right around the 12-yard line, and it's going to be returnable for Bell, but not much. The Red Wings are ready to wrap them up.
And about 20 yards, just sideways, not forward. So it was a good tackle. We can't let someone get the edge. Of course, Benet knows better and didn't. Move the ball. First downs here, and that's what they have to do. You said it earlier. Got to move the chains, step Step 2, worry about scoring. Right now, they're only down 1 score.
21-yard line. So we are midway through this first quarter. Benet with a 7-0 lead in our Class 5A first-round matchup. It looks like Smith is back out there now, so that's a good sign for him. He took. Again, that's turf down there. Perspectives crew with it, and that was a false start, so they're going to move back 5 yards.
And of course, that turf, it's one thing to play football when it's chillier weather and the ground is hard, right? But this is turf. It's cement underneath that carpet. So there's a little bit of squishiness. And of course, there's little rubber pellets tear away. The ground gets harder and harder over time.
3 yards in a cloud of dust is turned into 3 yards pellets. So 5 yards in the false start. They move it back to the 16. So a long sequence to try and get the play in after that false start. I'm going to mark it at so 4 yards that time. By the way, Rochelle just went in for another touchdown, so Rochelle in firm control out in Ogle County.
Brings up second down and long. Forward.
Plenty of games going on around the state. And tomorrow, wide receiver for the Vikings. Here's Smith, lefty, will throw it left side, and he's got an open man. It's intercepted. That's Luke Doyle who picks it off. That throw hung up there a little bit, and Benet will take over. Benet gets the turnover. This is an opportunistic defense. And the Red Wings will have possession inside the 40-yard line. Benedictine University is where we are. It's right across the street from Benet Academy. They have a football field there, and they do occasionally play some games there, but more often than not, they're right here on this field. Seen a couple playoff games here, some intense ones as well. And quarterback keeper there, Kabaki. And he's going to pick up about 7. Gets close to the 30-yard line.
Second and 3, Benet Academy.
3 receivers in the near side now for Quebec. And split back. They roll left. They're looking long. He's got a receiver and stumbled a bit. And just a bit out of his range. Good coverage there for Devion Webb, the junior that was out there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 now. Casual fun while being up here in the press box at Benedictine is off to my left. I can see fireworks for some reason. There's a run up the gut, breaking tackles, ball comes out, and it's a fumble that's going to land in the hands of a Benet player. Joe Salvino had a good carry there and a pickup of the first down. He goes about 21 yards officially. All right, so Bob Vilsway is back. Do we fix everything? Sometimes we're inside, a little inside baseball is what I call. We have a
little bit embarrassing connection there that happened.
We're just happy we're here. So
I had to get called away quickly to go fix it. Sorry about that.
We're all wearing a lot of hats. I want to throw out to the right side. That's a big old lineman with a catch there. Alex McDarmian,
And that was a pass
the
back.
junior.
Yeah, it was a pass back, right? And I always worry about that, especially passing to somebody who's not used to catching the ball necessarily, because if it doesn't get caught, it's not just incomplete, it's a fumble.
Sure, when he was playing youth ball at St. Joan of Arc, that the 6'1", 245-pound junior had the idea that he was going to catch a pass in the playoffs at some point in his high school career.
Well, he's still dreaming about being in the NFL, so you have to do lots of things before you get to the NFL.
7-0 Benet trying to go in. Pressure coming. The escape for Kubecki. One tackler and all the way down to the 2. Then a late flag comes in. So hold on a second.
What a great scramble, though, and that's what he's used to doing. He's a very, very, very good, very elusive runner. Not necessarily a big guy, but he certainly can gain yards with his speed. Now this is going to get pulled back a little bit. It's too bad a penalty that like that negates that kind of a run.
When you improv like that, still brings him back to the 18.
So perspectives with kind of a big break there, but it's still second and, like you said, 18, yeah.
Closing in on 3 minutes of this first quarter. And I look to the sideline. Everybody looks. Doyle's up in the slot. And you've got Diametti on the near side. They throw it towards the end zone. Open receiver. It's Doyle. Touchdown, Benet. Luke Doyle. The junior finds pay dirt once again, and it's 13-0.
What a fantastic over-the-shoulder grab, right? That's the kind of play you practice when you're in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and here you are, like you said, you're dusting it off in a playoff game in high school. Great catch. Really hard to defend because you want to be in between the defender and the quarterback, and you just can't reach that.
So they'll kick the extra point. It'll be Conway, and now what?
The busy Conway, as you were saying earlier.
Yep. We have a false start, so they move it back.
Conway needed more of a challenge.
Always intrigued by this. You're so used to kicking from that spot. This is a different distance from him. Still right in the middle. And again, just for rule sake, you can put it anywhere on the extra point, on the hash or in the middle of the field.
So you're saying you could grab somebody's helmet and then have another chance 15 yards further?
If you really wanted to. That one's good. Line drive, no problem and no doubt about it. 2:57 left in quarter number 1, and it's the Red Wings with a 2-touchdown lead.
Might be the last play of the game you get to play, however. All right, so
Seen a drop kick before, but not at this level, no.
Oh, no. So 2-touchdown lead, 2-score lead, still in the first quarter. Now, what I always like to do is do really bad math. So I take that 14 points in the first quarter and multiply it by 4. So we're looking at a 56-0 game here.
Do that. We're early.
But there will be a running clock in the second half if it does get out of line here.
That's what Benet would like, and they've had some injuries that they're dealing with for sure, and they'd like to get some guys off the field, get that taste of playoff experience these first couple of drives, and things get under control, and you go deeper and deeper into that bench. And the other thing about this level, and you go from 5A down, you get blowouts, and you think, these are hard to watch. The key to watching this is making sure those younger kids get some reps, and this is where that extra practice comes into play in the postseason.
Yeah, there's no way to say that any better than that. That's exactly right. You get players, some confidence. They get to play. They feel what it's like to be in the playoffs. Because as the games get tighter later, they're not going to be able to get those reps.
I'll give you an example of a Lena Winslow or Leroy in 1A tonight. That maybe they win 70-0, but it will be important for the freshmen and sophomores to get out there and play on a playoff night and cold like this. Picked up at the 15.
That was a very interesting way to pick the football up, though. He first knocked it out of midair. He had to go up in the air, and then he knew he was going to be able to catch it. That gets dangerous in football if you hit it up a little bit too high, and then it gets covered. You're all of a sudden in a fumble. But it was well done, well executed the way he planned it.
So Perspectives comes back on the field. The Warriors with the interception on their last drive. Trying to stay in this thing. And they will start at their own 19-yard line. Between this one and we're watching what's going on in Rochelle, Hub Nation up 12-0 in that game. So At this point, you're looking at a Benet-Rochelle matchup on Friday night next week. And again, very early, but
So out of all the games to pick to watch, why did you pick that one?
because these two teams will face each other, the winners
Uh-huh.
of this one and the winner of that one. So I got my phone going, and I got a game in front of me that I'm watching you, just like you guys are. Probably flying around tonight. And so the give, and you can see that the Benet defense starting to tee off a little bit, expecting that run.
Well, and then with the interception earlier, they know the quarterback's going to be a little bit skittish in what he can do, and maybe the coach is going to stay on the ground. Obviously, they shut that down, and it only gets worse from there. Now it's 2nd and long.
Bell only lost a 2 in that one.
So it's going to be scary if they put the ball up in the air, but they're going to have to at some point, unless they can keep getting ground to chunks, which they started out early getting. There was like 7 yards in the cloud of rubber pellets instead of 3 yards in the cloud of rubber pellets.
Long time in the huddle here. Again, that's a gassed Christopher Smith running back and forth from the sideline to get the play call and get up to the line. Get everybody set. We're under 2 minutes. They're going to give again. Bell trying to get to the outside. He does. Turns the corner a little bit. Nice little run. About 7 on the pickup there, but short of the first down, brings up 3rd down.
They have the wide side of the field to the right, so he's able to dip in the middle twice to deke the defenders. Then he got around the corner, just around the corner to get, like you said, the 7 yards. If he could have, maybe he had a couple more yards, further, he could have gone downfield and gotten the first down, but got pushed out again. 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 now. Perspectives has been in this spot about 3 times this game.
How big of a play is this right now for them?
Well, yeah, right. It's amazing how many big plays there are throughout, a football game. We're talking big play here, then big play there, then a big play in the fourth quarter finally. But, yeah, this is a big one. They have to turn the ball over if they can't get a first down here.
McQuell Harris to the near side, the junior, the lone receiver. 2 wing backs, 1 back with, and it's a give up the gut and rumbling to the 29. Did he do enough? Justin Harris might have got himself the first down. That's some trust in your offensive line.
Yeah, I don't think he got the first down, but usually, they got it.
Down.
Yeah, see, so often in high school, we comment about this all the time. You get anywhere near that first down marker, they move it forward. So he got a generous spot and got the first down.
Justin Harris, a senior, 5'10", 230. So he's a load. You've seen him. He's carried the ball a couple times here and has been effective. I figure if you can be patient and maybe shorten the game a little bit here, let him get lathered up a little bit there behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to be creative and come up with another first down play where they can gain 7 yards. See what they do.
Fresh set at the 29-yard line. Again, we're under a minute here in the opening frame. Glad you're with us here. Bell again. Will he cut in? He does. Not much. Maybe 2. Driven down. There's Jack Clevenger there with a stop. We saw Rogowski. He's going to go 2 ways tonight. And we got a lineman down.
We don't
Michael Parks is down.
Yeah, we don't want to see that. But on that play, it was almost like a student body right. There was a lot of blocking in the backfield. I was ready to think, looks like one of those protect pass plays. They had 2 wide receivers, everybody else in the block, but instead they ran with a lot of pulling players. They only got, about 2 yards on it, but an injured player, and that's not going to help.
Second injury timeout we've had in this first quarter. A couple things to note. It is a light crowd, which we did expect here. Benet has turned out a tremendous amount of support, as they often do. This is a tough ride out here from the south side of Chicago, out here to Lisle. But there are fans here, so I want to congratulate all the fans for being here for Perspectives. That's important. The big thing I'd like to note, though, is the Perspectives cheerleaders are here. That's great to see from a CPS school.
I'm also intrigued when you play in the college stadium here, right? The stands are much bigger. So if you play this very same game in a high school, your average high school.
Feel different.
Yeah, it does. And then, of course, the stands look a lot more crowded. So there's actually, a bunch of people here, but they look like there's a lot of empty seats as well.
We're talking about maybe 20 rows or so, maybe a little more, 25 rows. And we're going from goal line to goal line with the seating. So Benet students are in full effect, as I would expect. It's a great fan base. The Benet Red Wings, it doesn't matter whether it's football, whether it's boys basketball, still seeking that state championship. Very elusive for them.
Well, they're going to get it in volleyball this year.
There you go. And
Yep.
volleyball dominant team, girls
Yeah.
basketball. We've seen their success over the years, especially in the last 10 years.
Yeah, Coach Harper women's volleyball, right? And you can't help but watch the Benet team. They've got 11 players going to
Yep.
D1 schools. Imagine you're a volleyball program and you have some D1 players on your JV team.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Good to see that young man Michael Parkus is back up. So Parks is trying to limp across.
He's up, but limping, and he has a long way to limp. He needs to get one of those little scooters with the electric motor in it.
Here, he's just got to get comfortable with it.
You mean to get comfortable with his broken leg there?
14-0 lead for Benet here. 2 touchdowns. 1 on the ground, 1 in the air.
Well, and then
What do you like what you're seeing from Ryan Kubacki, the quarterback for Benet so far?
Well, like I said earlier, I thought he was going to scramble more today. Now, he did scramble and get a bunch of yards. Now, that play got called back, but I think you're going to see him more involved in the offense, running left or right. I think he wants to get back into being more a part of the offense than always passing the ball. I just think he's got a real strength. So I would have to say you're going to see more of that, him scrambling around for yards. And maybe, just maybe, a little bit of undisciplined defensive pressure. He has some fireworks in distance.
Pointing out the fireworks.
Yeah,
I mentioned it earlier while you were
Yeah.
fixing things over there.
Oh, yeah, right. Right.
You never know what you're going to see high atop a press box.
Let's blame those fireworks on something.
I'm sure we'll find a way. Final 30 seconds of this opening quarter. Here's Smith rolling to his left. That's a strong hand and a nice play and tipped away. And I want to say that Daniel Flores got a piece of that. The senior was able to knock it away. 3rd down and long coming up.
It was a small piece, but just enough of a piece. That was a tough throw to thread, right? There was a defender in front of him, another defender behind him. If that gets tipped up, the defender behind it gets another interception. But it was thrown perfectly, just not grabbed. But that leaves 3rd and long again. And again, like we were saying earlier, a big play. You don't get a first down. Again, you're punting, and Bennett's going to get the ball nearly midfield, ahead by 2 scores.
3rd down and 8 at the 31-yard line. Smith has to trot over for the play call, then come back. It's kind of a traditional high school quarterback move. Nowadays, and you've seen it with Benet, everybody's got the wristbands, you get signals.
I like it when there's teams on the sidelines. They have all those
Timeout.
different posters, right? So you get a little alligator and then a horse and then a musical note and some numbers. And somehow they know what to run after you see all those posters.
Bob, we're continuing the longest final minute of the first quarter I can recall in a long time. 20 seconds of timeout on the field.
Well, they want to get fans here want to get their money's worth for each quarter, be here as long as they possibly can. I mean, heck, if your perspectives, you drive all the way out to the suburbs, you want to be here for a long time, don't you?
You want to feel like you're in the game long enough.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Again, the winner of this one gets the winner of Rochelle and Marmion. Marmion has the ball, by the way, inside the 25, so that's worth noting. Rochelle with a 12-0 lead, I should say, as they are in the second quarter. Start at the same time, so we have some very odd start times. I know Batavia and Collinsville started at 6 o'clock tonight. It's one of the earliest Friday start times I can remember out in the suburbs.
Well, and that's the IHSA, right? Normally the Benet games start at 7:30, and that's what we plan for. But today it's a 7 o'clock start time, so for us it's kind of unusual to get here, the half hour earlier. But IHSA determines those, way back when.
The joy of a Batavia 6 o'clock start time is that if that's in hand by 7:15, you can hop in the car and go up to St. Charles North and watch them take on Rolling Meadows at 7:30. So there you go.
It's funny how you think. I think that that means the
think,
bars with food is going to still be
No,
open.
that's how I think about football first.
See, at 7:30, the games end around 9:30. You clean up at 10. You got to find a place that's open that can serve food after 10. But if the game starts earlier, you got it.
Big 3rd down right here as we come back to action. Give the end around here. It's Harris tried to cut in and stopped.
And all you can say there is it didn't go well, and unfortunately that big play we were talking about is going to be a punt after all, and Bennett's going to end up with the ball still in this quarter, but it's just shy of midfield.
That is going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Benet scoring on its first 2 possessions. Perspectives having a good opening drive, but they've hit some adversity. We'll see if Benet can get the ball back here and go up 3 scores as we start the second quarter. This is IHSA playoff football.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. But my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer.
First play of the second quarter, a punt. Pressure, but not touch. That's going to bounce on the wrong side of midfield for perspectives, and that's where Bennett's going to start at the Warriors' 49-yard line. Matt Rodewald, Bob Vilsway with you here at Benedictine University. It is a cool fall night, but it is wind-free. And so far, so good for the Bennett Red Wings.
Yeah, I was talking about that QB1 game where you tried to predict what happens earlier, right? And my prediction was Bennett was going to get the ball just shy of the 50-yard line. Turned out they got the ball over the 50-yard line, only 49 yards ago for the third score. Of course, now I like to think of this in terms of number of scores rather than 14 points.
Doyle already with a touchdown catch. I believe it was Rogowski with the opening touchdown on the ground.
Yeah, that 14-yard run right up the middle.
And so Bennett will go back to work. They keep the option there, and it's Kubecki.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all that he kept it. I really think he wants to rack up a lot of yards on the ground in this game if he can, if he gets the chance. But, you know, if he did lateral the ball, there was a defender waiting for the lateral, so he made the right read by cutting into the middle. We're not trying to say he's greedy trying to get those yards. He's just a smart quarterback and very quick.
Back he sets it up. Give this time up the middle, and a long run breaking tackles and rumbling into the red zone. And that is Joe Rohde.
That's an amazing, 2-yard pass right up the middle. Not like I guess you could argue it's a screen, but not really. It's one of those short, quick passes up the middle, and he rumbled for about 40 yards after that. What a great play call.
Chunks of yards for Bennett. It's been pretty balanced thus far. And they get all the way inside the 13-yard line. And now they'll take their time. They've gone mixture of tempo and slow down. They pulled back and forth, which makes it really tough to defend. Kubecki, he will throw right side. It's Rohde this time on the catch, and he gets to about the 10. About 3 yards.
Tripped up by Terrell Brunson. Second down, Red Wings.
So 2nd and 7, obviously they can run or pass. They're on the right hash, so what I think if I were them, I would want to run to the left so that later if they need to, they can throw back to the right. That's what I would be looking at doing.
It's Getz and Doyle to the top. Rogowski right next to Kubecki. They'll give it to Rogowski. Up the middle, shifts to the left, inside the 5, towards the goal line, and right at the 2 is where they mark him.
That's close to a first down. It might even be a first down.
It will give him the first down.
First down, right. So 14 yards. You almost got one here. Look for Rogowski up the middle. That's what I would do.
They go back to him again with a 14-0 lead. They do. At the goal line, walks in for a touchdown. Martin Rogowski, his second of the night. And a 20-0 lead for Bennett.
This is where you want the Bears to take note. They handed it off to a running back at the 2-yard line. Did I say that?
You did, out loud.
Out loud, on the air. Look out.
20-0, and so Conway will do the extra point. 10:09 remaining in quarter number 2. Bennett is perfect on its offensive possessions so far, 3 for 3.
Well, we need to handicap him on this kickoff, so move back 5 yards.
No problem that time. Switches ends, and it's up and good.
Don't you get the feeling if he has to kick for 35 or 40 yards, that's also going to be good? I mean, that extra point was into the next zip code.
Kickers are different now than when you and I played. I'm in my mid-40s, but you never saw a net on the sidelines. I did, but only because we had somebody who was super dedicated to it, ended up at Iowa as a kicker. Now I was on a 2-7 football team. That tells you how unusual that was. back in the mid-90s. Nowadays, you see a lot of kickers. They're specialists. This is what they do, even at the high school level. And, not just Illinois, but Arizona, Florida, Texas, Michigan. You see kickers all the time. And so when I see a good kicker, lately I kind of take it for granted. It's when you get to the small classes where you go, well, they don't have a soccer team, so I don't know if they have a kicker or not.
I've talked about that before, where they have to raid the soccer team to get a better kicker sometimes. But I know myself, analytics, right? And then just be an aggressive coach that I am, I would go for 2 every time, because I think that you can get that extra point more than 50% of the time by running or passing it in. And I think at the end of the day, you get a bunch more points.
I think Benet's going to see that next week with the Rochelle Hubs, who do just exactly that and go for 2 every single time they have the football. Conway, though, nice kick. That's going to go deep and sail inside the 15-yard line, and it bounces at the 10, picked up and run with. This is Harris. Harris to the outside, but nowhere to go, and wrapped up by the special teams and a host of Red Wings.
Now, there's a lot of fans here for Benet, as we spoke about, but coming from the south side, right, there's not quite as many fans from there, but you could absolutely hear the cheerleaders cheering for the team. Yeah, but back to the 2-point conversion thing, I just find it hard to believe teams are willing to leave a point on the field only 2.5 yards away. So I would go for 2.
Makes sense. We still have Doyle and Rogowski going both ways right now. Joe Rohde also going both ways. We see two-way players at the 5A level, not as many as we used to.
Well, and the question is, how long will they be two-way players today?
That's why I mentioned that, because I wondered myself. And again, a 21-0 score here.
Right, and then when you take somebody like Rogowski out, you can leave him on offense but not defense, or defense not offense. Or you might have 2 players that, one plays offense and one plays defense when he comes out.
I think at this point, maybe 1 or 2 more scores, and that changes how you look at it here, especially if that's happening in the first half. Nice run for Perspectives. They go up the gut, first down, and a stop. There's Doyle in on that stop. Daniel Flores in on the tackle as well. He had a nice breakup earlier.
Some Perspectives has a different perspective on things. They want this to be a close game instead of a blowout where we're worried about which Benet players are going to be in and out of the game. That was a nice 10-yard run.
It's a 3rd or 4th first down that they've picked up in this first half.
Well, they're 5-4. I mean, a very, very good team in their own right.
Yeah, this team last year 3-6, and they started this year 1-3. They lost to an undefeated Whitney Young team, which is the best team in the city on the public league side of things, and they won 4 of their last 5 to get into the dance. And so Perspectives, they've earned their right. They earned their way here. We're finding out what kind of football program they can be. Right side open, man. It's Harris, and it's a catch and a first down. McQuell Harris, a junior with a big catch, and that's the big play they need.
Now, Rogowski tackled him, but I'm also thinking, that was thrown to Rogowski's side, and it was still caught. It was a nice throw, nice catch. Now, he had to come back and make the play, so maybe Rogowski didn't pick up the ball either on defense, but a nice long, 20 or 30-yard play?
They're probably closer to 40 at this point as they go inside the 37.
A bit underthrown, but the receiver came back and got it.
That's going to flip the field now for Perspectives. Clock runs underneath 9 minutes in this first half. And we got another penalty. False start. So Christopher Smith's going to have to move the whole thing back 5 yards.
Yeah, those penalties, and then when sacks happen, they just really stall drives. So we'll see now 1st and 15 what they can do.
They move it back outside the 41-yard line. Clock continues to run. One thing that we've noticed with Perspectives, they've taken a lot of time in the huddle, and they are not interested in getting moving quickly.
Well, it's probably a theory of get it right. It's probably better than quantity. Whoops, that's going to be a fumble.
Because that came out the wrong way. It's still loose. And it's recovered by the Warriors.
No matter how you want to slice it, that's a fumble. Because even if you think he was passing it, it's backwards, therefore a fumble. And of course, it looked just like a flat-out fumble. Maybe the football was a little moist. I don't know. It's not wet weather, that's for sure.
Of course, Chris Harris, a 5'11", 190-pound kid. Or I should say Christopher Smith. My apologies. A senior for this team. It's probably something he's never done before in a game.
Isn't that the truth? But you're probably not even back in 6th grade somewhere along the way.
That's true. So now that brings up 2nd and DuPage County. About 30 yards. Back across the 50 at their own 44-yard line. They've got to get to the 26. Can't get in one play. No blitz. They rush 4. Left side, and it's intercepted. Benet with a pickoff. That's Dominic Tamala.
It looked to me like Herman Yancey ran just the wrong route. There goes some fireworks again.
I'm wondering
looked to
if
me
that
like-
was on purpose.
Just looked like the wrong route. Yancey went deep, and the ball went across the middle, so maybe it was supposed to be a deep slant. I mean, it's hard to believe that the ball was that far underthrown. But that's what happens when you play zone defense and you're looking back at the quarterback. So when the ball goes somewhere else and the receiver doesn't go there, you can pick those off. Man-to-man, that's not usually the case when you're looking back at the quarterback.
That is the second interception and the second takeaway for the Red Wings.
Now, this is something we haven't seen before. As many times as we've been here at Benet games, I haven't seen fireworks from the homes right behind the field.
I wondered if it's on purpose, and I don't think so. I
think it's on purpose.
I don't think so. They're still going. Kubacki to throw, first down. It's Doyle, tries to break a tackle, gets all the way across midfield to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, that's another 6 yards after catch. I mean, he could have gone out of bounds, but he came back into the field. I just think the timing of those fireworks was just too obvious after an interception.
I understand that. I'm going to ask our production folks. Could they hear the pops pretty well on the audio there? Okay. We just want to make sure there's no alarm there. It's just amazing timing. If it was on purpose, it was weird. If it wasn't on purpose, it was weird. Kubacki pump fake.
You said you saw fireworks earlier.
I did, but not from over there.
Yeah,
in a different spot.
But remember when those fireworks...
Kubacki's going down the sideline. He's going to race to the goal line and get there. Touchdown. 46 yards for the score, and it's 27-0.
Kubacki just adding to his number of yards gained. It's probably not a 100-yard game yet, but what a great run down the sideline. I thought he'd be trying to gain some of those yards on the ground today. And, of course, the ambulance lights are going off in the corner. That we see all the time at Benet. That's fun to watch.
I think those were done on purpose.
Yeah, those are clearly on purpose. But you know what? If the fireworks were on purpose, you would have thought there would have been some here.
Except now I think I've proven my theory. Those are not on
We're going to have to keep watching the game.
Keep watching. See
of course, maybe the way it's been so far, they've run out of
if
fireworks.
If it was an accident, it was a heck of timing, put that way. Oh, the botch snap there. And then we get more fireworks after that.
Yeah, see, I think the fireworks happened as a result of that touchdown. They just took a long time to reload them up.
Yeah, that's it.
That is it.
27-0 our score here.
Actually, what they're doing is they're listening to our broadcast, so that's how they know when the touchdowns occur.
27-0 Benet in charge of perspectives here. We're in the second quarter, 6.5 minutes to go, and it's been all offense. They've gotten 2 turnovers, taken advantage, and scored on all 4 of their drives so far. Might as well widen out and show the fireworks for a minute if we can.
Well, that's what Chris was doing. Chris Angela, our videographer.
Make sure I get a look on our screen. They're coming straight across the way. If you notice, there's no bleachers on that side. Typically here, North Central College, the same thing. There's a long set of bleachers on one side, nothing on the other.
Well, we do know what's
facing
there.
It.
We do know what's on the other side. It's a road. That's how I get to you here. There's a road that goes behind the field. That I park in the parking lot on the south side there, and right behind that road, what is there? Homes.
There you go.
Yeah. So I think somebody knows these are happening. Somebody's got a walkie-talkie here, and hey, blow off some more fireworks.
Conway will do the honors from the 40.
Just like you said, he's been busy tonight.
He kicks it away. It's going to be caught at the 10-yard line and returned by Bell as he goes to the outside. cuts back in, breaks one tackle, and gets out to about the 30-yard line.
Well, you can see
where
why
the Warriors will start.
Yeah, you can see why Bell's on the kickoff, return duties. Now, more fireworks.
These are not cheap, kids. If you've been to a Kane County Cougars game, $20,000 every show. Just so you know.
Yeah, I love it on the pier in the city on the Friday or Saturday nights when they kick off the fireworks.
You the guy parking on Lakeshore Drive just to watch. There's always too many people doing that, right?
Unfortunately, I end up paying a fortune in the pier to
there
park
you
there. It's like $38 a day or something.
So, it'll be Christopher Smith back out. They've had some success, but they have not been able to sustain it.
Well, Benet, they've been bending a little bit on defense, but not breaking.
Smith throws, right side. He's got a man. It's Harris. Oh, and he dropped an open pass. Two things. Did he lose it in the lights, or did he expect it to get deflected and was not ready to catch it?
And you nailed it right on the head. I was thinking Rudkowski looked like he was going to get that, and I'm thinking he thought maybe Rudkowski wasn't going to be able to catch it, but maybe tip it, and then he would catch the deflection behind Rudkowski. And I'm a little surprised Rudkowski was, I'm going to say, misread it. It was over his head, and I think if he'd take a couple more steps, he would have had it, the interception. I feel like it was underthrown.
It's a good ball by Smith.
Yeah, I think he did throw that one early, too. I'm thinking that don't pick on Rudkowski's side. Just throw it at the other direction. Now, the left side doesn't have Rudkowski.
Jarrell Brenston over there, the lone receiver, 3 to the top. They give this time. It's Bell, met in the backfield, and then dropped from behind the line of scrimmage. Daniel Flores coming in for another big play.
Right, and that's hurting Perspective's mojo there. Now you got 3rd and long. The ball's right in the middle of the field, so there's no real wide side here. But I'm thinking if you're going to throw deep on the other side of the field.
Clock runs underneath 6 minutes of this first half. It has been all Benet, 27-0. Mishandled snap on the previous extra point. But they've done it in a variety of ways. Rogowski with 2 touchdowns, 14 and 2 yards. Kubacki 1 in the air and 1 on the ground.
That one on the ground is a long one.
41 yards. Check it, 46 yards. Here's Smith to throw. He flips it out of bounds. It's a veteran move, but 3rd down now. Not a good time to do that. It's going to force them to punt.
Yeah, that gets tough. I mean, if the punting game, you can count on it to kick the ball 40 yards downfield, that's one thing. But throwing it out of bounds on 3rd, I'm thinking you may as well just fling it downfield. If it gets intercepted, it's no different than a punt, but your player has a chance to get the ball. So, but there was nobody downfield to fling it to.
So we're watching a couple games. This one is 27-0. Benet with the lead right now. Rochelle with a 20-0 lead on Marmion. So the winners will play each other. That game would be at Rochelle if it holds up. Benet on the road next week. There's a beautiful facility out there in the hub city. I was out there last week. Had a chance to look at them in Marion Catholic. A couple nice players on their team as well. They can run the football. They're really dangerous running team. The old single wing that you can't prepare for in a week, which is not easy to do. Perspectives will punt. Low snap. They get it away, but it's straight up in the air. It's going to be really short. And the wrong bounce. And so Bennett's going to get great field position with 5:11 to go in this first half and a penalty, too.
Well, and so far,
Do you take this penalty here and make him punt again?
Absolutely not. It was only a 6-yard punt, right? So, I mean, they would have been better off running the ball on 4th down. Yeah. Well, Benet rushed them very, very well, so I'm thinking the punter saw the rush and just missed it.
I wonder if this is running or roughing the kicker. Yep, that's what there's going to be, running into the kicker. Pat New, the head coach for Benet, arguing the ball hit the ground on the snap, which that evades those penalties. That erases that, but
I didn't see the ball land.
You see Patrick New out there. He's getting the explanation, and he's not liking it. So they don't get the choice, but Perspectives is going to punt it one more time.
Yeah, the Benet rush was very, very successful that last time. And that's what caused the bad punt. They didn't block it, didn't touch it, just went straight up in the air.
Some very good pressure here. But yeah, again, I will tell you, when it comes to CPS schools, special teams tends to be the weakness of all of these teams. So I'm always curious to see if they got a good punter, they have a good kicker, do they kick at all? For perspectives in terms of this punting capability, probably middle of the road. Execution, and that's pretty good. I mean, it's not a long punt there, but they executed the operation pretty cleanly. So we've seen that a couple times, and that's where Benet will start now. 5:05 left in half number one.
Yeah, Tali Hassan picked that ball up, and I was thinking, I think I would have let that ball go. It had some momentum going toward the south side of the field. I think I would let it roll a little bit more instead of catching it. But obviously, if you pick it up like that and you make the play go dead, there's no chance for any kind of return. But I think I would let it go.
As one who was a bad football player and was often on special teams, no matter what, I always like to get around the backside of it to let it come to me. Mm-hmm. That way, if it goes the wrong way, I just dive. And so back to work for the Red Wings. Short pass and a catch. That is going to be Declan Walsh, tight end, a 6'3" senior, all 230 of him. If you're Benet, you have a chance to score twice here and have that clock run in the entire second half.
Well, that was a nice defensive tackle on that play, too.
To see how they do this with two receivers to each side. Check it. Two receivers to the near side, one to the top. Flip to the right side. Rogowski slips one tackler, breaks out of another one, runs into his own guy, gets across the 50 and picks up a good amount, close to the first down.
I think he's going to get it on this one.
They're going to move the chains, yep.
Yeah. And we saw some random fireworks there, so it's starting to look more random. Maybe just Bennett's making an awful lot of plays that are good, and then the fireworks happen after those.
We're going to beat that story to death, all of us are.
Right.
They just keep going. Hey, I have fireworks. When's a good night to let them off? How about November 1st? That's good. Let's do that. Quick draw. Up the gut for Rogowski. Close to a first down again. Now we're getting big chunks of yards, 7-8 yards at a time.
Well, this offensive line is wearing perspectives out a bit as well.
Seeing guys gassed up there for perspectives. Dawson Harris and Brendan Dollison, they can only do so much. So they go 4 down linemen. They've got a spy in there as well. That's going to be up the middle and to the outside. That's another carry for Joe Salvino, I should say.
Yeah, at this point in time, the way Bennett's front line is going, you almost don't have to air the ball out at all. But if you are Benet, you do have to air the ball out anyway, just because you got to make sure that your execution is going to be good as the teams get deeper into the playoffs, and a little bit more talented on defense.
I kind of wonder if Patrick New's experience in the postseason, that you're not going to show your hand too much here. If it continues this way here in the second half.
Right, and there's 2 ways to go on that. Show teams what you can do, but you've got to have counter plays then, or show off your counter plays, and then they can't stop your main play.
And he will continue he wasn't touched for 15 yards, gets inside the 10. And we hit the 3-minute mark as they move the chains, 3:04.
And they're timing this well. They're inside the 10 with less than 3 to go, so a couple 2 or 3 running plays will get the ball in the end zone with very little time for perspectives to have.
Kubacki gives again. Rogowski to the goal line, and he's in for the touchdown. Rogowski, his third score of the night. This one's 7 yards out, and it's 33-0.
So reading your notebook, 14 yards, 2 yards, and now 7 yards. Rogowski, 3 touchdowns. That's pretty amazing.
It's a math equation.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet that he's not going to come in the second half. That would be what I would do, I think. What a great first half he's had, let alone a whole game. So 33-0, going to be 34-0, assuming the snap is good. So that's a 68.
Snap was not good last time around. So let's watch it again to see if John Erickson can get it cleanly. Much better this time. Snap, the operation good, the extra point is good, and with 2:54 remaining, Benet in firm control.
Yeah, key word, firm control. 34-0 in the first half.
They have not punted. They have not turned the ball over. 5 for 5 with the football tonight.
So what we're probably going to be looking at is a running clock in the second half at some point in time.
Well, you're looking at that one and potentially looking at a running clock with their potential opponent next week. It's Rochelle with a 26-0 lead right now on Marmion. That is still 150 to go in the first half of that one. Tomorrow, where are we? We got Geneva and Amundsen. Looking forward to seeing the Vikings. Great season, 8-1. They are notoriously a very good football team in the first round, 20-3 all time in the first round.
And you said you were at 4 Geneva games already this year, right?
I'm an alum, so
Yeah.
it makes it easier.
Uh-huh.
The teams I played on, not nearly as good as this. I caught 0 touchdown passes. Taylor, the all-time receiving touchdown leader. So he was an All-American, I was not. So it's an easy comparison, obviously. Conway unloads it. He's been very consistent tonight, right around the 15-yard line. Picked up by Bell, and off he goes. Good hit. Who was that with the...
Well, again,
Not
Bell
there.
Bell ran for 20 yards, but it was sideways, right? So he was on the sideline when he caught the ball and then ran it into the middle.
Let's hear it for Ben Albert on that hit, by the way, the junior.
Yeah.
2:47 to go. Benet right now with 3 timeouts. I don't expect them to use all 3, but maybe 1 if they can get a third down stop to get the ball back.
I mean, very good point. I wasn't even thinking about getting the ball back. I'm just thinking the perspective will run out the first half clock, not because of ineptness. They just keep the ball and then the clock will run out.
Not in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, right. So if Benet can get the ball back,
See if Patrick New can play a little game of chess here.
yeah, I'm thinking perspectives will hold the ball to the end of the half. That'll be my prediction. So they'll be able to run successfully. Of course, they might try to do this in the air and a couple of incompletions, like you said, in the timeout, and Benet does get the ball back.
See how they start this off. 3 receivers to the top for perspectives. They got 1 receiver to the near side. That is Jarrell Brinston. They swing it out to the right. A catch. He stays in bounds. Look at Luke Doyle out there still hammered away.
Yeah, the way that play developed, their wide receiver got the screen, but the block was on the wrong side, so he has to go to the other side of the block to get to elude the defender. Instead, he ran to the defender side, getting blocked, and it was an easy tackle. So that's a little bit of execution. You got to block the other side of the receiver.
No gain on that one. Closing in on 2 minutes. Benet content with letting them run the clock right now in these first few plays.
And perspective seems content to be letting the clock run too.
Imagine at this point, just that with the tempo, that Benet probably would let the clock run out. Depends on the play call here. See if they throw the ball or they run it. 3 receivers near side, 1 to the top. So they flip the formation. Harris, give it to Bell. Met immediately, escapes that tackle. Picks up about 2 or 3 yards.
Well, and here's the time to do it. If you want that ball back bad, right, call timeout
now.
here, right? Then they have 1 play to get a first down, and if they get it, well, they get it. But if they don't get it, you get the
On
punt.
the sideline, there's a conversation happening right now about that as they approach 1:30.
Yeah, I'm thinking with a 34-0 lead, I don't think I really care if I get the ball or not.
And see limping off the sidelines here. This is the thing you worry about. Dean Mia, the sophomore.
Limping off.
And also another it's two players for Benet. That's Declan Walsh. They can ill afford to lose him. That is a key injury if he's struggling as you look ahead to next week.
Yeah, I think you're going to see some substitutes in the second half.
By the way, Rochelle has gone up 34-0. So that one, you're looking at a mirror of what's going on between the 2 teams that would face each other next week.
Right, it's shaping up to be a good game.
On the end around, they go reverse this time. Harris, can he get to the outside? No, and they stop him right at the line of scrimmage. And now they will call the timeout with 36 seconds to go. So they waited all the way to the 3rd down marker to get that. They'll punt the ball, get the ball back.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, okay, they punt the ball, and of course, perspectives hopefully can punt more than 6 yards. But let's say it's a normal 30-yard punt downfield, right? Then Benet gets the ball, and they're half of the 50-yard line only with 30 seconds to go. I would just run out the clock. I wouldn't bother with a bomb.
True, but what is the one opportunity you have here? 30 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Is to run some sort of 2-minute sequence that you maybe have been working on in practice. You're not going to run it the rest of the game, and the kids probably know that too at this point. So, hey, we're going to run this once. We'll see what we get. And if we can get moving, great. If we can't, kneel it. We'll go and talk about it.
Well, and that would be the alternative. Here's a chance to execute that 36, second drive. I mean, Washington did it to perfection.
One key here is that the Red Wings will get the ball coming out to start the second half. So the urgency there, that makes sense.
Now, it looks like it's only 4th and 4, so I'm also thinking if your perspectives, I'm not trying to say they're down 34, let's just do anything, right? But if they can get a first down here, they can hold the ball again. But so I don't know if they will punt it. We'll see what they come out with here.
4th down and 4 at the.
If they do give up the ball on downs and then Benet does get the ball, I mean, even though there's only 36 seconds left, Benet's going to be 40 yards away. Let's see. Looks like they're there's the punt.
So, are they just going to try and kneel it down?
No, here's a punter back there. Oh,
I don't believe so.
Yeah, you're right. The quarterback's going under center. Go figure.
Perspectives has a timeout or two as well.
Maybe they think they're going to do the old hard count and get 5 yards that way. I don't know.
I don't.
Looks like an offensive play.
So they have lined up, and there's some confusion on that sideline.
There's some confusion in my mind.
See, Jacob Solda comes out onto the field now. They have 11. Benet had 10 on that play. Now they're set. They're setting up to run a play, and that's going to be a timeout for Perspectives. Tried to draw them off, didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't even look like a hard count. It's just like they're standing there. Who's going to jump on that?
That's something I don't know how much Perspectives has practiced throughout the course of the year.
Well, I'm wondering, too, at the end of the first quarter, it took a long time to finish the quarter. Now here we are in the second quarter and taking a long time to finish the second quarter.
We're an hour in here.
Well, we're making up for the running clock that may end up happening in the second half.
Well, yeah. I will tell you this. I am that guy. I am anti-running clock. Why am I anti-running clock? Because I was a bad football player, and it shortened my playing time. I wanted my playing time. So, but I understand why they do it. Certainly as an adult, I have a different perspective, but if I'm a teenager, don't take plays away from me.
Actually, I completely agree with you, but the problem is then you get the 73-0 games, and that's not good either. But I'm with
Yes.
you. You got to let the players play. And
I totally get it.
Right, and if you want to be an appropriate coach, when you do have the ball in your head 56-0, you don't have to get the first down,
No.
but you do want to give your other players reps, and you want the other team's players to get
It's so hard
reps.
to coach with a lead like that. It's just...
Now,
It's like, what
maybe-
are we supposed to do is one of those things.
Well, maybe it's one of those things where both coaches can agree on what they want to do. Maybe.
Well, I've seen conversations happen in midfield between series all the time. So,
Yeah.
So they will set back up to punt. Still sorting out their linemen. It's the biggest game for the Perspectives program in a long time. Better snap. Now they will throw it to the right side, and it's underthrown, and it's almost intercepted, but that was actually a good thing.
That's right.
I know Jack Getz did not like that, but the ball's going to move up a good 10 yards because he didn't catch it.
Well, it just looked like he didn't miss it on purpose. I mean, it'd be one thing to go up and bat it down and show the whole crowd that, I purposely didn't catch that. But that went right through his breadbasket and landed on the ground. Did not look like he tried to miss it.
No, he put his hands right on his helmet immediately.
Right. And I don't really fault the play. I mean, it probably should have been caught, and it would have been as good as the punt anyway. They're trying to go for it. 34-0. You really got nothing to lose anyway.
34-0, 30 seconds to go. The ball at the 32-yard line. Benet a chance for the kill shot here.
Oh, they have that chance. I would run it if I were them anyway. I wouldn't be trying to do the kill shot here.
Also got 2 timeouts to work with. We'll see how they approach this. It's Kubacki. He looks to throw. Swings to the right. Here's Doyle. Blockers in front of him and some space. Gets through it inside the 20, all the way to the 10, and out of bounds at the 7-yard line. So a big chunk right there with 23 to go.
Right. 23 yards at the second. 23 seconds, the ball at the 7-yard line. 2 passes later, this should be another touchdown.
We got another injury with Jarrell Brenston going both ways. He is gassed. Don't know if he hurt a knee. He was grabbing that. You hope it's a cramp, which, yes, you can get cramps in the cold. Wait and see as he's down there. Jarrell Brenston, a senior, 6'2", 185. Again, 5 touchdowns for Benet. Rogalski with 3 of those, 14, 2, and 7 yards on the ground. Kubacki with 1 touchdown in the air, 1 on the ground. Touchdown pass to Doyle. It's 14-0 after 1 quarter play, and they broke it up, and they have not been stopped here. So they've been 5 for 5 on the drives.
And they've got 2 timeouts left, so I wouldn't at all be surprised to see them put Rogowski right up the middle again. And if he
Probably
doesn't
go
get
to
a
the ground.
touchdown, then you give him a 4th touchdown. If he doesn't get it, you got a
At the same
timeout.
time, 1st and goal from the 8-23. I can see them trying to run 2 quick plays just to see your organization. If Patrick New wants to see the operation, see how that works, and it might be a good sequence for that.
Yeah, now the first thing I see is I don't see Rogowski in.
He's not on the field. Instead, you get Joe Salvino. Salvino shifts. They shift the whole formation. Up back there, that's Joe Rohde. They give to Salvino. Big hole, left side, to the goal line. Touchdown, Benet.
One play later, go ahead and go for 2. Get back to a nice multiple of 7.
Joe Salvino, the junior with a touchdown from 8 yards out.
Very nice job by the offensive line from Benet. Just moved the defense totally out of the way. There was a great lane for Salvino to run through. He did a good job, though, not diving into the middle, into the tacklers. He followed his blockers along the line, kind of a slant left on the run.
Conway, the extra point. Let's watch the snap again. That one better. And the kick is as good, too. 41-0. Benet dominant so far in this first half. You would imagine that, barring a major kick return, they'll take a knee and go into the half.
And it's not going to be an 82-0 game because there'll be a running clock in the second half, using my fun math. So it was my original math. The first
Seen weirder, but...
Right. Well, let's see. It was 14-0. It's late in the first quarter, so that would have been a 56-0 game. And
You got to work on your scale. I'm not sure it's right.
You're right.
Not sure it's scientifically proven either. Again, they're at halftime out in Rochelle. It's 34-0. Rochelle leading Marmion. So at this point, it points to the Rochelle Hubs hosting the Benet Red Wings next week. Rochelle's a single wing offense. How hard is that to prepare for in 1 week?
well, when it's different than everybody else. I mean, you need more time to prepare for any offense, frankly, whether it's that one, but it's so different. If you're preparing for a normal offense, it's the same preparation every week, but this is a unique offense.
They were 6 points away from being undefeated, taking Sycamore to the wire. Benet with a tough schedule as well. Caught from the 18-yard line. Here's Bells. He goes back towards the middle, tries to get right, and he's wrapped up and dropped at the 14-yard line. Jacob Soldo with a stop.
And back to that preparation too. I can, as a coach's perspective, you have X amount of time to practice, right? You want them on the field practicing as much as possible, but to practice against a unique offense like that wing offense, you need a lot of video time as well, because you need to watch it and see what they do, see where every blocker goes, see where the runs go, see what the counter plays are. That's a lot of time in the video
next
room.
week the game time. Might be some gamesmanship there. Hey, let's play Saturday at 1. Get that extra day of prep, so to speak. I mean, there's some of that going on out there, too. I've seen that on a lot of levels with teams trying to set themselves up for success or shorten someone else's success into failure. So you never know. So I'll be curious to see how that turns out.
You're not
I
suggesting,
can tell you this, is that will be a very physical football game next week.
You're not suggesting the coaches you do that on purpose, that kind of gamesmanship off the field.
Of course. ADs, coaches, principals, they all are involved sometimes. Not all the time. They're going to line up in shotgun one more time. 2 receivers each side. Christopher Smith got hit once, came out. They're going to do a little halfback pass. Harris with a razzle-dazzle. And this is going to be picked with 6 seconds left.
The thing was,
or no?
It's out of bounds. It was picked. It's out of bounds.
Incomplete. Okay.
Yeah, but if that ball was thrown deeper, he was definitely behind the defense on that play. But you have to have a 50-yard arm.
So they get one more out of this. You pull all the tricks out.
Well, and you may as well. You're not going to need them next week.
I don't know if the perspectives will fall back into the Prep Bowl conversation or not, but they'll drop to 5-5. Benet will go to 7-3.
Well, and the good thing too is you can see what kind of plays work against a quality team like Benet for next year too. As a coach, you learn from playing a game like this. Your players learn from playing in a game like this.
Expect to see a lot of young guys in the second half for both teams. Maybe a series. Keep them warm. Smith's throw, 1-on-1, incomplete. And we have 1 second left.
Good Good. We get to watch another long one like that. So I find perspective. Send somebody deep on the left side, somebody deep on the right side, put somebody deep down the middle, and then pick which one you want to aim at. Pick your poison.
This is the run straight and keep going.
Forrest Gump.
Yes, right. And you do have a quarterback that can air it out a little bit here.
Yeah, he does have a good arm. And he's got some speedy receivers.
Kubecki with a nice arm, too. He's a really, you can tell he's in command of that offense.
Well, and he's such a multiple threat kind of
Yeah.
a quarterback. He can throw it, he can run, he's very quick, obviously very smart, makes good choices.
Athleticism with a 46-yard touchdown run down the sideline. All right, last play of the half. They're just going to run it.
I gotta say, I didn't see that coming.
Nowhere to go for Justin Harris, and that is how our first half will come to an end. Benet, a perfect 6 for 6 on offense, 41 points, a 41-0 lead at the break in their Class 5A first-round matchup here Friday night. Take a timeout. This is IHSA playoff football.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Keep the audio down. Switch mics. It's okay. Okay. Picture's up. That's fine. First play of the second half, ready to go here. Benet gets the ball after that near muffed disaster of a kick there.
Brought down by
Hi.
Had a bit of a microphone snafu. We good to go? I think we're good to go.
We are good to
Okay,
go.
all right.
We swapped out the microphones and we're
The
good.
important thing you should do, all right, so this goes for any young broadcaster. You should check the batteries of the microphone. You should not wait till all 20 minutes of the halftime period has elapsed before you finally check them, which is what happened to us. So you saw the kickoff. We didn't explain it, but that's why.
Well, that's why it's on TV, because we can all see that it's a
You can
kickoff,
see
right?
what's going on. And it's a running clock here in the second half. Aiden Merzinger. We're going to see some young guys. I'm sorry, Cooper Harmon. There are going to be a lot of guys with the same number, so I'm going to have to gamble. Pick your poison here. But 41-0, clock will run rest of the way, regardless of whether Perspectives gets it within 40. So there we go. Meanwhile, the winner of this, which is looking like Benet, they will go on the road to Rochelle, who is up 34-0 on Marmion. They're midway through the third quarter out there.
And of course, with this running clock, even if Perspectives were somehow able to get back in the game, you can't, because the running clock will prevent them.
It's important to see who's on the field. John Erickson is the quarterback running the set now. Check that. I want to say that's going to be Cooper Harmon taking the snaps, 22.
No, I'm thinking it's fourth down at midfield. Don't bring in your punting unit. Go ahead and run it again. That's what I would be doing at Benet, but it
let's see
doesn't
here.
look like that's what they're going to do.
Only one substitution.
Justin Harris, fourth down, Red Wing.
Just go for it.
Honestly, that's a good first possession for Perspectives. It's been rough. Benet scored on their first 6 drives to start the game in the first half. And so Harmon's going to take the snap on fourth down. He will keep it. He will get close to the first down, and he will get it. You know, that says a lot about character and culture when you look at a play like that. When you're a second-tier lineman are out there for a fourth down play, and they have to pick it up.
And they pick it up. And then the good thing, the chains move, you keep the ball. Of course, there's some of me that says, well, it's okay when the defense gets on the field because then, they get to practice some snaps.
Scenarios, though. It's either way.
Right.
It's scenarios across the board. That's what you're working on in a game like this. And so Benet pretty much taking all their first-teamers out. I don't believe I see one single first-teamer on there. John Erickson's to the top, by the way.
And taking their time on the play
Yes,
clock.
they're taking their time on the play clock. They have play clocks here, but they are not active. So you have to look at the officials. Old school.
Run by Joe Salvino.
Salvino, we saw him get into the end zone right before the end of the half, so he's on the field.
Yeah, it's not like they're down to their 5th or 6th string or something.
Yeah, he's pretty much the leader on the field in terms of skill players. Salvino comes off. See who else we have out here. Gene Garcia on the field right now for Benet. Looking at Kevin Howard split out there in the slot. Moving to the right side of Harmon is Ian Closen. I hope I pronounced that right, Mom and Dad. I always try to get it right as best I can. As a draw, couple yards, 3 yards. Again, clock runs here. Already 4 minutes gone by.
Yeah, and third and long. And I'm thinking, too, even though they're still at midfield, I'm thinking this 4-down territory, run it again twice, get the first down, move the chains would be my guess. And if they don't make the first down, well, they're leaving Perspectives with the ball on the other side of the field.
If you're Benet here, you want to have good sequences of offense, but when you give the ball back to Perspectives, you want that 0 to stay on the scoreboard. So I'd be curious to see how the defense comes out with their attitude, those second and third teamers as well. It's a 3rd down and 7 coming up from the 46. They've got to get to the 39-yard line. Taking their time, play clock. Harmon's going to keep it this time, and he will not escape. That's good pursuit, backside pursuit for Paris champion, the sophomore, 6'2", 185.
Looks like they're going to stay on. I didn't like the play call where it's a quarterback draw. I feel like they're doing that too much. I'd like to see the running backs go left or right.
Well, let me add to some aspect of it, too. When you're talking about RPO, sometimes these quarterbacks don't get live reps, so they're not used to their reads. They know what they're supposed to read, but this is live football. When you see the reads, sometimes you're not seeing it perfectly. So I think there's something to that here. On 4th down and 5. Again, trying to get to the 39. They draw that time, and it's going to be Salvino. 1st down and a lot more. Foot race on the sideline. Late flag came in at the 32-yard line.
Don't you think it's safe to say that he made the right read on that RPO?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. See, and this is why you do this, is to get those reps. You're watching the end. Is the end crashing down, or is the end holding contained?
So it looks like it's coming back. The question is, where was the hold? Looks like at the 31, they go back 10 yards. It'll be at the 41. It looks like they might.
4th down, by the way.
Yeah, but they should be able to get 2 yards on the next 4th down. See where they put the ball.
Mark it? You're watching the officials. Again, with the officials, this is a generous assignment. This is an honor to get a playoff game. So with all the officials that we have around the state, not everyone's going to be working playoff football. So congratulations to these officials for getting a playoff assignment. We'll see how far these guys go and this crew goes.
It looks like we'll see another one of those RPOs. Let's see if they get the right read again. That last clearly was the right read.
Harmon again, 4th and 2. After the holding penalty, he will keep it after the high snap. 1st down, gets to the 38.
I thought it was going to be a lot more. That was a great tackle.
Nice stop by Paris champion, or Jaquez Payton, the sophomore.
And that's what Benet wants, is keep moving those chains. Doesn't really matter if it's on the ground or if it's complete.
I think Patrick New would be fine with a long, sustained drive that eats up a ton of time here in the second half.
Well, and I have to say this politely, but I think Perspectives might be okay with that too. But they would like to get the ball. They would like to exercise their offense.
Saw Marquez Holloman run off the field. He's listed at 5'10", 400 pounds.
How many pounds?
400.
Don't you feel like that's a typo? But wow.
When you saw him run off.
I did.
It wasn't. He's a big boy. It's 1st and 10 from the 37. Draw that time. Ball's out. Who gets it?
I think Perspectives picked it up.
Perspectives gets it. First turnover for Perspectives. The first takeaway for the Warriors. And the first time they prevent Benet from scoring.
Well, and if you're ever going to fumble the ball, fumble it when you're ahead 41-0 in the 3rd quarter.
That's a good idea. So Perspectives will take over here. Clock continues to run, even on the change of possession, by the way.
I used to hate that in basketball. You know, to be at the free throw line shooting free throws, and of course the guy is dribbling the ball 10 times before he takes a shot, all the while the clock is going.
I officiate IHSA basketball. I've been doing it for 16 years. When I find myself in that situation, I certainly got a wink and a nod at the table when it's under a minute to just let us finish some free throws cleanly so that we can keep going. And usually
Right.
they know stop it at 2 seconds so that we're not having the clock run out while they're all standing at the free throw line. It's not easy to coordinate, but I think it's the only fair thing for players. We see it in the summer, too. With Summer League, we run a clock all the time. Final minute, it stops. Might as well. So loss of 1 on that one. Back to the 35.
Yeah, I think if they had hiked it about 2 or 3 seconds earlier, they could have gotten a 5-yard penalty out of it. But again, that requires real good, precise execution.
Vince Cabay on the field now, a sophomore, 6-foot defensive end. He's a big boy. Also getting a look at Carlo LaForgia. Back to pass, a little long.
Yeah, that was well covered.
Right route, right read.
Yeah, right. Well, that was no chance of getting caught.
No.
He just overthrew the receiver. The receiver was well covered. But, you don't have all day back in the pocket like that, so you don't have time to, make 3rd or 4th reads. But that was, just no chance of making a completion there. 3rd and long.
Christopher Smith has completed maybe 1 or 2 passes today. One big one. We do know that.
Well, and I think it was underthrown, and Rogalski, I'm surprised didn't.
40 yards.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's been tough sledding. 3rd down and 11 as the clock continues to run. They put Bell out to the right now in the slot. Harris looks his way, throws too high, nearly intercepted, and it is! Guess who? The second time we've seen an interception for Dominic Tamala.
He executed the tip drill to perfection.
That is the third interception for the Red Wings today. They credited it to somebody different. I'm certain it was Tamala.
Yeah, number 20.
20 who got it. That's the second one of the day. 5'10" junior.
And there's only one.
3-1 on the timeout board.
Yeah, and there's only 120 on the roster.
Yeah, there's a couple doubles, not many. Careful with the double numbers. It'll get you. All right, back to the second team unit for Benet. Harmon will give it this time. Salvino, right at midfield. What do you like about what this offensive line's doing? What have you noticed so far?
Well, it's different now in the second half, but in the first half, Bennett's offensive line was just blowing the perspectives off at the line of scrimmage, allowing large runs and also creating large holes. The second half, we haven't really seen as much here, but obviously they're able to continue to move the ball until the ball got fumbled.
Zach Ide, a freshman, is on the field.
But a very well-coached front line from Benet, whether it's the starters or the backups.
They're getting some push here, the second unit. Obviously, you don't expect it to be the same, but this is good experience, a whole half of football. They had the ball quite a bit here in this third quarter until that turnover, and that one nearly got away from them as well.
See, now that's where you say the penetration was too great on Perspective's side, so the offensive line let them down on that.
That might have been the freshman's first carry of the season. You saw that. That was Zach Iddy.
Now, if it's a well-executed draw, you can kind of draw your defensive line around the handoff, and that creates the hole. But that doesn't look like what happened there. That play just got busted.
That's a welcome to varsity football moment
yeah.
for Zach Iddy, as we will come to the end of the quarter here as they're going to let it run out. It is 41-0. Benet had it once, turned it over, got it back after an interception, and that's where we stand here. Benet with the ball trying to finish things off and keep that shutout on the board. It is 41-0. Benet will move on to round number 2 and face off against Rochelle, who also has a running clock right now. We'll be right back. This is IHSA Playoff Football. Okay, fourth quarter now underway. Matt Rodewald, Bob Vilsway. We are here in Lisle at Benedictine University. It has been all Benet Red Wings from the start of this one. 6 for 6 on drives in the first half. The only mistake, a missed extra point thanks to a botched snap. That has been it. Benet has been really good. What's made them so good tonight?
Well, this the physicality at the front line. I mean, we talked about it the first half. The offensive lineman is creating gaping holes. Now here in the second half, there's a lot of penetration here. Again, well-coached front line. But what I'm also intrigued by is how fast that third quarter was, right? The first and the second quarter seemed to last forever. Mm-hmm. There was like 12 minutes worth of, I'm going to say commercial time in the first and the second quarter, but here it was just exactly a 12-minute third quarter.
I'll make a point. I'm keeping an eye on the Rochelle game, which is now in a running clock as well. The Hubs up 42-0 on Marmion, so it'll be Benet at Rochelle next week. No game time yet. But Rochelle's game was 3 minutes game time ahead of us. Now they're behind us. They're still just about to wrap up the third quarter now. So they're behind us at this point. And so you would imagine this one should finish, barring an injury. Salvino dips in and out. Shifty move, shifty opportunity. Oh, and he dropped the ball on the turf. They did not blow it dead, and that's it.
You know, so if there's a chink in Bennett's armor, they fumbled the ball a couple of times in the second half, right? So, I mean, even though it's not the starters, that has to be a point of contention during the week that says, you know, you got to really hold on to that ball. We're going to be playing Rochelle next week, not Perspectives.
That is a second fumble of the day, and so that's going to be a conversation to deal with. Probably the best thing to happen.
You know, there is some
point when you think about it.
Right, there is something to that, right? So, it won't happen next week because it did happen this week.
So a coaching conversation. They're like, what do we talk about? Oh, we have something now to work with here. Ball security. And when they face a physical Rochelle defense like they will next week, they're going to have to protect that football big time.
Right, and that was Salvino that dropped it too. Again, like we said, he's not like the third or fourth string here, right?
Salvino just having a bad night. That's okay.
Well, a bad night at the second half.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Got in the end zone right before the half. Wanted to carry that over, but has not.
Well, he figures if he's not getting a touchdown, he doesn't need to carry the ball.
The junior, see if he's back out. See if they, not so much as a punishment, but see if they go deeper in the bench. That one blown up from the start, and it's McQuell Harris. Finally, they blow it dead as this forward progress stopped.
That whistle took a long time to blow, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if he could have broken out of that, that whistle had not blown. So second and long now. Not quite DuPage County long.
Second and, what do we got, 15 here. A market at the 32. It is hard being a receiver at this point, no matter what side of the football you're on.
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't have a clue if they're going to run or pass now anymore.
Marmy just got in the end zone, by the way, so that shutout's gone. And a run this time. Here's Harris. Stopped after a pickup of maybe 2 or 3 as we hit the 9-minute mark.
So third and long. And again, I mean, if I were Perspectives, I would put the ball in the air, but it looks like they can't go too downfield because he's got the arm strength, but not enough to go deep with it. So it has to be a short or, long enough pass, 12 yards over the middle maybe.
Then it switches out defenses. Bunch set now for Perspectives, trailing 41-0 here in this fourth quarter. It's a keeper. This time it's going to be Herman Yancey. What a hit there. You can hear it from up here.
The thing is, 3rd and 12 with a quarterback keeper like that just doesn't look like the kind of play where you're easily going to get a first down. So now it's 4th and still, at 9. Long way to go to get a first down here.
And to the short side of the field as well.
Yeah, and I don't see a punting unit come on, although that hasn't been real successful from Perspective's side today. So another quarterback keeper with 9 yards to go. I don't know.
At the 38-yard line. Check it. Yep, 38-yard line. They'll go for it here on 4th down, 3 receivers near side. Smith will throw right side. He's got a man. Can he run underneath it? He cannot. And guess who? That was Dawan Bell, who was there for it, and he was open. Just the timing was off, and so Benet will take over on downs.
Yeah, he zoomed.
8 minutes.
Yeah, zoomed right past the defender and absolutely was wide open. Only got outthrown by, about a foot or 2. I'm thinking if there was a little bit more air under the pass, he could have run under it. I might have liked to have seen that, especially if he was going to be that wide open. Sometimes you throw that frozen rope downfield, and it's got to be a perfectly thrown frozen rope. But if you can put some air under it, the receiver can adjust the route and catch it.
No wind tonight. In case you're wondering, the Benet students have moved on with their evening. There's an empty section down there as they know the clock's running, and they'll see them next week. Curious to see how many travel to Rochelle. And again, I mentioned it before, that field in Hub City is a fabulous facility.
Well, and I like the Benet theme nights that they have here. Whatever it is, I don't even know what the different themes are that they have. But I didn't pay attention to tonight's theme. But
like a wear red kind of night.
Was it a wear red night?
Got the classics of USA, Cowboy Night, Taylor and Kelsey Night you see now. If it's been done, it's been done again. 6.5 to go. Salvino back on the field. I like this move, keeping him up.
Well, he's getting a lot of workout today. The difference being he's not behind his first string front line. Makes a difference.
Protect the football here.
Yeah.
2 fumbles.
Well, and I like that the coach is keeping him in from that perspective. It's like, okay, you fumble it, you can go to the bench, no, you got to learn how to hold on to that thing. But the clock is flying here.
Cooper Herman, this is a freshman quarterback, by the way, for Benet, getting some playoff reps. You see this with East St. Louis once or twice. That one, a long throw down the sideline, and that was a battle. They tried to get it to Luke Crowder, the freshman-to-freshman connection.
They've probably seen that freshman to freshman connection a few times for touchdowns earlier, I'm guessing. But that was actually a pretty well thrown ball. I think if Crowder, cut into the middle of the field and looked like the space was there to do it, maybe he didn't pick up the ball soon enough. That looked like that was a nicely thrown ball.
Kubacki is senior, so he is the heir apparent. Like the way that they have orchestrated the second half. Again, you're not seeing the results on the scoreboard, but they've been running their stuff. They haven't shown much, but they've been diversified in their offense here.
I like that they did pass in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's easy to, you think run to run out the clock, but you can pass and run out the clock too. That's okay.
5-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Harmon will throw again. Left side this time. One-on-one. How about that catch? Was he inbounds?
Looked like it. What a great catch. Over the shoulder catch.
The other side.
Yep.
Freshman
I like that.
Connection.
I like that. You throw it deep one way, then you throw it deep the other. Now, if they were still at midfield, they could throw it deep down the middle, but here it's going to have to be short down the middle. But I think what they're going to do is keep this on the ground.
At the 6-yard line.
So I think it'll be Salvino off tackle. He'll go left or right. What do we think?
Imagine
Strong
say up the middle. Field, but they're going to take their time as they know they can punch it in here and let some clock run at the same time. 4 downs to do it. No sense of urgency, but it is nice to get the backups an opportunity to punch it in the end zone. This one is to Harmon. Ugly snap, but he got it right back, and he gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
It's amazing how those ugly snaps result in plays that, I mean, okay, so it took a couple, it took a couple nanoseconds to get to the quarterback. But I think what happens, right, is the quarterback has to watch the ball, can't see the reads he needs to make, and then the plays break down. I mean, it's not like the snap went over his head, but it did bust the play up.
They go 2nd down and goal. Going to be at the 7. We're under 4 minutes now. They're going to run. Salvino, goal line, in there, touchdown.
Looks almost like a carbon copy replay of the touchdown he had earlier. Earlier he cut through the middle and then went left. Here he went left and just around everybody to that side. Great touchdown.
47-0 as the clock continues to run. That will do it as Benet, wire to wire, in control.
I need them to go for 2 to get my prediction. Otherwise, I'll be off a point.
And they have a backup kicker to do so. This is going to be Brody Seibert, the freshman, 5'11" kid.
I like it. A backup kicker even.
Everybody gets a backup opportunity here. It's going to be the same holder with John Erickson. So the only thing that changes is him.
And some more fireworks.
Let's see if Brody Seibert can get one through the uprights here. Good operation, and that is a little left. It is good, though. It sneaks right in there, and that is it. A 48-0 score. This clock runs with 2.5 to go.
Now, those fireworks are going off right after that touchdown. You can't tell me that was random.
I will tell you it's random. It is Dia de los Muertos, which means you get fireworks tonight. I had forgotten about that. So maybe 1 or 2 more plays should do it.
Yeah, the clock is still running even after the touchdowns. Yep. I feel like if you're going to have a running clock, at least stop it for that.
Perspectives will finish at 5-5. Don't know if they'll be in the Prep Bowl conversation. See next week. Meantime, Benet moves to 7-3. Rochelle, they're under 5 minutes away from finishing that one up to go to 9-1.
But Perspectives should be proud of their accomplishments this year.
Yeah,
right. They got to this playoff game. They got 5 wins.
Won 4 of their last 5 just to get in the dance, and so it was worth every ride. And for everybody that came out here to watch them, good to see all the supporters for the Warriors.
Well,
this will move on, though.
And this will help them going forward. Now they played a good team. They see what a good team is like. I mean, every position, every block, they understand how to do it better now. They know what they need to do on offense better.
One of those set the standard moments. Brody Seibert's going to kick off. Here's the freshman with the boot. That kick is going to get to about the 11-yard line. And that's McQuell Harris. Stop at the 23-yard line. Maybe 1 play, and that should do it.
And then if you have 1 play left in your Perspectives, I'm just saying, if they're down 48-0, what do? Just run it into the middle and let it go, or let one fly? But this is going to be it.
Let's see if they have a sense of urgency about it.
If it were me, I would let one fly, and if I were Benet, I would almost keep a punt returner back.
I would argue, too, for Benet, these are tricky weeks because, the energy is not the same. as a fired up first round playoff game because of the way this thing went. So
Well, Rochelle's going to have that same issue, but you are absolutely right.
this is going to be a throw down the right side, an open man. That was Tariq Halfacre, the sophomore that whipped it down there, 6'4" sophomore.
Again, that's a frozen rope kind of play. He was definitely behind the defense, so if he put some air under the ball, he could run under that play. And I don't think we're going to see another snap. It's going to be hard to get a snap off in 22 seconds. And
See if they move.
they're hurrying. Oh, maybe. They're going to try it. So I'm thinking throw it deep down the left side now. You got 11 seconds to snap it.
One more for the road. Halfacre now. Final play of the ball game. Left side. And knocked away. If it's a catch, they do call it a catch. That will change the stats, and that will be it. Benet a winner in opening round number 1. 48-0. The Red Wings will advance to face the Rochelle Hubs next weekend.
We'll take on the winner of Rochelle and Marion. Currently
Guys came on, took care of business in that first half.
Yeah, I'd like to say so. It's first playoff berth in a while. We wanted to get job done, look ahead, but didn't want to look past this first game. We got the job done, played simple, passes were hitting, runs were hitting, defense was stopping. It was a good game overall.
Got some big holes to work with early on. The line was ready to go tonight.
Oh, yeah, they were. It was like the Grand Canyon through there. I was getting through easy. Honestly, anybody could got through that.
What's important about running at games like this where you're going to get some points if you sustain drives and just being patient, making sure that you continue to get in the end zone?
Just being patient is good because we know that if we get our job done, we can keep it simple. We can set the tempo of the game. We can control the pace of the game. We can take over and do our job and win the game.
You've had a great season. You got into the playoffs, a playoff victory for the Benet Red Wings. I haven't had that in a while. What's that feel like?
Oh, it feels great. It feels great to be kind of a leader on this team, be a huge part of this team. Feel special for the school, for me, for my family, for everybody. Just feels great overall.
How good is this defense? We've seen them be opportunistic these last couple of weeks, and we saw it again tonight.
I think it's great. We got a lot of fight. We got a lot of heart. Smaller defense. We got some huge guys up front. We got some people that play hard, hit hard, and, we're here to stay.
See a pass-happy team in perspectives. You get Rochelle next week, single wing or double wing, old school football. It's going to be a physical football game. How excited are you for a game like that postseason at that building?
I'm super excited. We get to play on an old field, grass field. It feels like old school football. Get to fly up there, make some big hits, big plays. I think it'll be a fun game for sure.
Marty Ragowski, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.